A very good morning to you, or rather a very good afternoon to you, and welcome to the Doosan ENC Wave Championship. This, of course, is happening right here in Busan, and it's going to be very interesting because we've got a very, very good start to day 3. Keep in mind the fact that the temperature is very pleasant. It's about 15 degrees Celsius, just about 3.2 miles, of wind speeds. So I don't think it's going to be a very, very tough. And it makes for a very pleasant kind of atmosphere for most of our golfers. So stay with us as we take you through the action of this exciting tournament. And there's a lot that we can take from it. So just missing out, on nailing it here was Hwang Yu-min. And we've had a few interesting, stories to tell you about, how things have panned out here. But first up, let's very quickly remind you, more importantly, that this event is worth $822,120.84 US dollars, or about 1.1200 million Korean won. Well, that's pretty much, isn't it? 70-hole stroke play that we're looking at. It's been an interesting start as far as we are concerned. Keep in mind the fact that we started off with the first 2 days showing us a bit of a difference. We did have quite a few of the golfers who really rose to the occasion, and we'll run you through that. Now, the Dongri Benist Golf Club here does present a very, very different kind of scenario. It's different from the very scenic, or the very, I would say, different golf courses where they have, the ocean sides, you've got the mountain sides. But the Dongri Benist Golf Club is different. It's also been designed by one of the legends of golf architecture. We'll get to that later, but right now, let's just focus on what's at hand. Just another narrow miss there. So now let's keep in mind the fact that 2025 LPGA of the Korean Tour, better known to us as the KLPGA, this is the 48th season, and it's of course operated by the Korea Ladies Professional Golf Association. It's very interesting as we carry on through the event itself. We've got so much to talk about. So many of the golfers here who've, we've seen in the last few years have really honed their skills. Now here's Kang Chae-yeon will aim for birdie on hole number 9, and that's well done by her. So she goes up to a 2 under, finishes with a 37 on the front 9, and that's a nice way to end, your first 9 with a birdie. Ko Ji-yu will aim for an on-par finish on hole number 8. She's up to a 3 under. And I don't think she's going to have, any complaints about that. Also, very interestingly, let's run you through, how day 2 ended, because that pretty much gives us a feeler of, of what to expect going ahead. Here's Lee Won. She finished joint at the top yesterday. Not too happy with her effort. So finishing round 2, or day 2, was Hong Junmin, Lee Won, and Jung Jin-yo, all in tied first, and they had 7 under. And then you had the tied fourths with Kim Min-sol and Kang Ga-yu, who finished with 6 under. And then, of course, there was the 5 unders in tied 6th with Park Hae-jun, Hwang Yu-min, Ko Ji-yu. Then, of course, in tied 10th was Park Min-ji. So it's going to be a very interesting one, because there's a lot of focus and there's a lot of attention being cast on Park Bo-kyum, who had just 2 under at the end of yesterday. She was in tied 17th. So let's not forget that. Well, things do change as you go along, but today is pretty much the day when you find, who's the cream of the crop and who will make it through to tomorrow. So it's a very, very interesting time, and it's also that time when golfers will have to bring out their best. There's no trial and error anymore. It's really just down to them coming out with what you would call their best performance, or their ace in the hole. No rabbit in the bag here. That's only for tricks. This is tried and tested skill. Hong Junmin aims for birdie on hole number 7. She's got a healthy 8 underscore that she's carrying. That's just going to curve a tad bit away. I think she was going to, we'll just use that banana effort, probably a little less. Quite difficult to gauge, the challenge opposed right towards the end, next to the tin cup itself. Park Hae-jun will go on with a 6 iron. It's a 6 under that she's been carrying. There's been a few interesting stories that came about, after day 1 and day 2, and they were quite unique. Hwang Yu-min, of course, received the most votes, out of the 102 KLPGA players. Excelled in targeting the course. She had beautiful long shots through day 1 and day 2, and then Park Hyun-kyung, finished second on day 1, and she was selected by a lot because she had no flaws at all. Park Bo-kyum and Park Ji-young were also voted as one of the favorites in the top 3 years. Jung Ji-ho, she will aim for birdie, and just a slight miss there. Don't think she's going to be too happy about it. Kim Min-sol will go in with a 7 iron as she tees off for hole number 8. It's a par 3 for the asking, and let's not forget that 120 players got into the first round right here at the Benist Country Club. That's all, of course, been trimmed down. Well, decent placement, a tad bit away from her destination, but I think she'll be happy to have landed it on the green. Lee Won, another one of those star golfers. She's up to a 10 under, aims for par on hole number 7. And she's done that fairly well. Kept herself in good stead as long as you don't get into those positives. It's the most beautiful thing of golf, isn't it? The juxtaposition of things. Kim Min-byul aims for birdie on hole number 9. She can move up to a 5 under. Well, it's fairly doable. Didn't sweat too much with that, just kept it very steady. She's up to a 5 under, finishes the first 9 with a birdie and a score of 35. So just saying, in golf you always have the negatives are really the positives of the game, and the positives are really the negatives of the game, isn't it? It's just one of those, well, twists in life. Jung Ji-ho will be happy to finish that with an on par. She just missed out on a birdie earlier, wasn't too happy about it. Park Hae-jun. Well, just got out from the rough. She can still finish on par with this hole. Hwang Yoo-min needs to get out of, well, the rough, just away from the sandbox by a few inches. And I think she's still got to dig herself out of that area. Too much of earth in there for her. She's one of the golfers that I love to watch. You know, do admire her temperament. She's just got this girl next door kind of disposition. She's a very skilled golfer. Comes out with stellar, you know, shots sometimes. Kang Ga-yeol now. But Hwang Yoo-min has been a bit of a bridesmaid last year. You know, came close to winning many contests, especially one of them where she was in the finale itself and just dropped off the grid. And she's done that, you know, shines on the first and second day and then just loses momentum and rhythm on the third day itself. Park Hyun-kyung on to her third effort for hole number 6. She's got an even score as we speak. Well, it's a fairly interesting, you know, time for someone like Park Hyun-kyung. That's fantastic placement on the green, and I think she would be happy with that effort. Just move back down to, well, looking at how things have progressed at the other end. Kim Min-sol will also try and cash in on an underscore here. Well, that would get her to a healthy 7 under if she does manage it. And just a narrow miss for her. Now let's not forget that more importantly, while we did have a tournament that was played earlier, well, this really marks this event, and the fans say it all, you know, they took the words out of my mouth. Well, this really marks the start of a new season, and it marks the start of what is the competitive professional season. And fans have been looking forward to meeting the players, and that's the reason why they're here. They missed them, you know, over the Christmas break and then over the early start of the year. 20 players named Hwang Yoo-min, who ranked 7th in the points and 4th in the prize money, as she ranked 9 times in the top 10, including the Doosan Engineering and Construction Weave Championship last year. She received the most votes for her KLPGA colleagues in a survey conducted recently. As I said, she really is an exciting golfer to watch. Lovely talent, you know, and you need to see golfers like that who have such a great temperament, you know, on the course. Well, most of them do. Kang Ga-yeol aims for an even score on hole number 8. There was always going to be a bit of a, well, obstacle in there, keeping the distance in mind. There's a bit of a curve right there next to the tin cup, as you can see. And she'll accept that gracefully. Well, it's that one thing that does happen, isn't it? You know, on day 1, 2, and 3, the pressure levels are not as much as on, you know, round 4, or if you have a 3-day event, pressure levels are not as much as on the final day, because then there's expectations, you know, you're so much closer to winning. And it's just human psychology. So golfers tend to be, or to play in free fall in their first or, you know, second rounds. It's the third rounds where it starts tapering down a bit, and in the fourth round there's a lot of pressure, and that's where your you know, the way that you can handle things really comes to the fore. Park Hae-jun needs to finish on par. Oh, and she'll be disappointed. There was every chance she could have, because she's going to drop points here. And you don't want to do that in round 3. So Park Hae-jun gets a bogey there. It's 5 under for her now. Had a birdie on hole number 7. Let's not forget in other news that Hwang Yoo-min also won the Taiwan Ladies Professional Golf Association Tour Foxconn and that was the TLPGA Championship last month. Tied for 4th place in the Blue Canyon Ladies Championship, and really respected by her colleagues. Now, Kim Min Sol aims for an even score on hole number 8. It shouldn't be too difficult. Just a short distance and a few feet to cover. Never really a problem. So Park Yun Kyung, of course, who's been active on the tour, one of the most consistent players in the last 5 years, had multiple wins, made full preparations to sweep the We Made Grand Prize, the prize Money King. And Park Yun Kyung, of course, is going to be here, in a very big way this year. You've also got big stars like Yoo Hyun Jo, Lee Jung Min, Bai So Hyun, Lee Won, and No Seung Gi, who were in the KLPGA Tour Winners Club last year. And I think this all makes for a very, very interesting, tournament here to, in this particular event. Lee Won, she's carrying that 10 under score, gets ready to tee off for hole number 8. And that's well struck by her. Absolutely well struck by her, and I think she'll be happy about that. So Lee Won currently leads, the leaderboard with that 10 under. Hong Jun Min is sitting right behind with 8 under in second, and in third you've got Hwang Yoo Min, who's got a 7 under. Now it's going to be very interesting to see whether Hwang Yoo Min can maintain that. So you've got 10 under, 8 under, 7 under, and then Kim Min Soo and Kim Min Byul are sitting with 6 under and 5 under. Park Hae Jun also with 5 under in a tied 5th. Hong Jun Min will tee off with 6 iron on hole number 8. Fairly well struck, I'd say. There's Hwang Yoo Min. She's got to keep herself very consistent if she has to really, and she can do it. There are days when she has. Looking at an elevation of about 12 meters, 103 meters to the hole. This is hole 9 and a third effort. Or just falling shy of hitting the green there, and I think, she's not going to be too pleased about that because, a birdie might be just a bit of a problem. So there we go with the leaderboard. Lee Won leads with a 10 under. Then you've got Hong Jun Min with 8 under in second, and Hwang Yoo Min with 7 under in third. Kim Min Sol in fourth with 6 under. Then you've got that duo there of Kim Min Byul and Park Hae Jun with 5 under and tied 5th. And An Seung Gi comes in and tied 7th. And tied 8th, you've got the 3 unders. And you see Jung Ji-yo there, who was doing fairly well, but she's just dropped out a bit. Park Byo-kyum, much is expected from her, but can she really rise to the occasion in this very event? I think that's left to be seen. It's pretty much a concrete jungle, around the Dongre Benist golf course. It's not those. You do see the hills in the distance, and that's kind of a welcoming sight. I'm a huge fan of golf courses that are either on the waterfront, that overlook the sea, or more importantly of those that have mountains surrounding them. It's an absolutely wonderful thing for me because as a child I grew up with the mountains right behind, and had a huge river that was about maybe a kilometer's walk from my front door. It's kind of a dream situation for me, and I do love to see it because mountain air just makes for an amazing, or even sea air makes for an amazing, refreshing experience. Having said that, it does also increase the challenges for the golfers, keeping wind speeds in mind and temperature conditions, especially if you're on the mountains and it rains. Let's very quickly look at the Dongre Benist golf course. It's an entirely different story. As I said, it's pretty much surrounded by a concrete jungle all around. There's so many apartments and buildings, city area, and Doosan, well, so famous if you're a baseball fan, which I have to confess I am. Busan has some amazing merchandise and gear and such crazy fans. I absolutely love being a part of that as well. So the Dongri Benist Golf Club here in Busan, the 18-hole course is known for its natural beauty, quiet splendor. There's one thing it has which others don't: cherry blossom trees. Now the sakura blossoms don't happen through the year, but when they happen, it's just amazing, isn't it? And it has a signature left dog leg par 4 hole, which is really the hole that everyone talks of. Now the course opened in 1971, and it's the unique thing about it, which I spoke about, is that hole number 6. Hole number 6 is considered the signature hole of the golf course and the most challenging. And the Dongri Benist, Golf Club has a refurbished old clubhouse, which you will see in this event. It was refurbished just a couple of years back, and the course changes from the Goryeo to the Yang grass in October, requiring specific grass cutting, ryegrass sowing and maintenance to ensure optimal conditions. So at this point of time, it is still the Goryeo grass that we're looking at. Let's not forget that the course was designed by Perry O'Dye, and he was the eldest son of golf course architect Pete Dye and American championship golfer Alice Dye, Dye as in D-Y-E. Perry, of course, died at 68 in 2021 and has left us with such amazing memories as the design of this course. The course was renovated by Rhys Jones in 2019, and it has 27 holes with a par of 108 and a total yardage of 10,701 yards. Consists of 3 9-hole courses: the Lake Course, the Pine Course, and the Valley Course. So it's a very, very interesting place to be at. Of course, today we're looking at the Dongri Benist, the out and the in, as far as our flow of the event is concerned. Beautiful course, very, very picturesque. Within it, there are a couple of beautiful things. You can see the cherry blossom trees, spaced out. Just look for the pink. You can see them in spots all around, and I absolutely love them. It's a great time of the year because this is the period when the cherry blossoms are their finest, around April. Hong Jun Min, who's in second position right now, will aim for birdie. Oh, that would have been such an amazing feat. Such an amazing feat. Well, unfortunately, you would have said straight off the flagstick. But you have given that to her. Well, just for that effort, I would have. Well, she will finish it off. I just can't help but feel a tad bit awful for her. She had such a lovely shot. That was an amazing effort. She should have got that. But she did settle for an on par. Just a gentle nudge would have done it. But that's just gone a bit over, and I don't think she's going to be too happy about that. Lee Won, chance for a birdie here on hole number 8. She can go up to a 10 under. She's another stellar golfer to watch. Well, that's just going to kiss the rim. And that ball definitely wanted to play truant. So she will settle for an on par, and as long as she doesn't, drop those points and keeps herself steady, I don't think an even score is going to bother her too much, at this period of time. Wang Yumin. She's got a distance to cover on hole number 9. She's going in with her 4th effort. She's got a 7 under in the bag. 25 meters, that's a big ask actually. I always knew she was going to fly past that. Just a little bit too much of a thrust in that effort. Park Min-ji. It's been a while since we said hello to her. 130 meters to the hole. The greens in regulation are 67% today. Just to keep you in the loop. Well, that's well done. Absolutely well done. Was actually going to get to just talking about the equipment in a little bit, and there's a reason for it. So Park Min-ji, very happy with that effort of hers. Wang Yumin. Remember, it was a 5 par for the asking. We'll need to finish this with an even score. Oh, and she's going to be disappointed, but that pretty much says it because she'll have to drop points here. Goes down to a 6 under. Bogeys are the last of the first 9. Well, really looks like those steps, doesn't it? If you just look at it, like a steps leading down to, the fairways. How cool is that? Or like the fairways leading up to the green. Absolutely love it. Well, it's pretty much, that time of spring when the trees, of course, have just come away from the winter. Things are starting to slowly change. It's a perfect, period for weather. At this point of time, the changing seasons. Kim Min-sol goes in for her second effort on hole 9, 205 meters to the hole. She's now tied with Hwang Yu-min on 6 under. Well, solid effort, but she's flown the green there. I don't think that was the intention, but I'm so glad to see so many fans out here, and just like me, we're all excited that the season's kicked back into motion, and it's going to be a nice, long, and exciting season because there's going to be so many, twists and turns in it. Kim Min-byul, a birdie might be a big ask for her here on hole 10. Definitely needed to chip that, but that's an excellent effort. That is an excellent effort from her. Will settle for an on par, and I think she should just be proud of the fact that she navigated through that fairly easy with skill. Let me kind of reconfirm that. Lee Won will tee off for hole number 9, 439 meters to cover. It's a par 5, and this is a fairly challenging hole, I would say. It has an uphill slope. You've got to aim for the center of the fairway, and that's exactly what I meant, because otherwise you might get yourself into a spot of trouble, take yourself away from the actual course and the number of efforts that you have. So of course, sitting there with it's Hong Jun-min with Lee Won. She'll tee off for hole number 9 as well. Driving accuracy has been 83% today. Was just talking about those sakura blossoms. I'm a big fan of them. I'm a big fan of them inside cosmetic products, inside eau de colognes, inside perfumes, more importantly inside ice creams and bread as well. I don't remember whether it was Paris Baguette or one of the famous joints around here, bakeries, and they do have this Sakura bread, which is just crazy. Absolutely love it. Do like the fragrance of it. I do like the Sakura blossoms. Lucky to see them at this point of time, but I'm always the one that misses those blossoms, and they hardly remain for a couple of hours or a day, and then they're all gone, and you see the flowers strewn down on the floor. But really a joy for me to see this today. Kim Min-sol now on to her third effort for hole 9. Remember, it's a 6-under she's sitting with. 439 meters was the actual distance to cover, and that's when she flew the green. Well, just a bit unnerved there with that previous shot, and just trying to find her flow back again. And Mara Som will finish with a birdie on hole number 11. She's carrying a 1-under. She had 3 bogeys in that first 9, and a bit of redemption here for her, and she'll be happy about that. Mara Som, another golfer who really shone bright in the last few events of the year in 2024. Really came into her own, was practically knocking on the doors of every single tournament. Some golfers just hit the ground running hard, and some golfers do take a bit of time to get set. Lee Dong-gyun, and she aims for birdie on hole number 11. She's carrying an even score here. Another wonderful golfer to watch, very, very dedicated and focused, and she'll be happy with that. Oh, she's had 4 bogeys on that front 9. It's a very challenging period for her today. To have a hat-trick of birdies is always desirable. To have a hat-trick of bogeys, you got to really soak it in. It's really tough, isn't it? Well, it always is. Don't forget that Lee Won was expecting to keep herself on the fairways, but rather than gaining ground there, she did manage to hit the rough. I think she stayed out of the cat box, and she's going to be happy about that. Well, the last thing you want to do is, land yourself on that. So Lee Won carrying a 10-under. She's going to go in for her second effort, and she is in the cat box. I do stand corrected. I really thought she had landed on the rough, but I think she's done well to get herself out of that situation and back on course. Oh, pun intended there, definitely. So she has done well, and I think she'll be happy about the fact that she's just got off that, non-green area, to be precise. Hong Jun-min, the second effort, 23.6 meters elevation that she's looking at, 227 meters to the hole. Just progressing at a steady pace. And that's going to skip past its destination. A bit unfortunate here for her. We'll have to tap that in. She shouldn't have too much of difficulty with this part. Well, it's just easy to gain your ground. Has lived through the motions in the past couple of years as well. There's been a steady increase for most of these golfers in terms of their performance. they've actually upped the ante when it comes to, well, how they've taken things in their stride. Kim and Bjol will go on with the power wedge, and this is for 118 meters. Oh, that's an absolutely brilliant effort from her. Just landed herself plumb on the green, very close to the flagstick, and I think she should be pleased with that. Meanwhile, Wang Yumin needs to get off the rough as well. We'll go in with the 9-iron. Remember, this was a bit of a troubled, well, spot for all the golfers on hole number 10. And she'll stay on the rough, even as you've got that beautiful bird. Well, I'm not great with identifying them, but almost like a kinder version of a magpie with, a white body. But hole number 16, Lee So-young. She's got a 1 over score. Oh, well done. Well done to bring herself back up to an even score. Lee So-young birdies hole number 16, she had a buzzard on hole number 8 as well. It's a unique hole. Hole number 16 has a downhill slope, and you've got to keep yourself to the right of the fairways. I thank our cameraman for that. This makes such an outstanding screensaver. Oh, it really does. I could just actually take a screenshot of it and capture it. Beautifully done. Those sakura blossoms, just very, very cool to look at. And well, it's not something that you see every single day, but very well done. And there we go with the march as our golfers move on to their next challenge. The fans, family and friends first, and fans, of course, do follow. I was watching some of the golfers who, the younger golfers, they have their parents who travel with them. And, many of the professional golfers with the women, they have their siblings, either, their sister or their brother who travels along. And that's quite amazing, keeps them kind of motivated and also in the comfort zone. Now here's Lee on an elevation of 8.8 meters, a third effort on hole 9, 82 meters to the hole, will look to land herself close to the tin cup. Well, that was definitely the intent, and that ball's going to, well, I think just kind of dance in her favor, so she's got a smile. She knows she's done fairly well. Lee Yvonne, bit of a precision golfer. She does excel in the way that she plays. She's got a very, very unique style, and that's what really makes these golfers stand out, isn't it? Jung Ji-oh, she's on to her third effort for hole 9 as well. Well, that elevation was so important. She had that beautiful tree in front, but that's also put herself in a bit of a spot. Well, away from the destination, she will sit, well, on the carpet, but that's going to be the carpet that borders the green. I do like that. You don't notice that too often in many of the courses where there's a border line, and the grass is trimmed on the green. It kind of adds such a beautiful color effect if you look at it from, from a drone lens. Hong Junmin onto her third effort. Oh, she's placed that beautifully. And that is such a worthy bit of applause for her. That is an absolutely wonderful placement from her. Hong Junmin will just soak that in nicely. And this is where, regardless of the fact who wins the tournament, it's just some of those stellar efforts that come in from these golfers that just leave you breathless. And sometimes it's a hole-in-one, sometimes it's an eagle. just in case you're missing the sun in your house. We're just sharing a bit of it with you. So Lee Won still holds on to that top position with a 10 under, the top of the leaderboard, with Hong Jun-min in second with 8 under. Kim Min-sol and Hwang Yu-min are tied third with 6 under. Kim Min-byul with 5 under in tied fifth, and she will, of course, share that spot with the other competitors who have been with her in this very tournament. And we're looking at Park Hae-jun being the other one. In tied seventh, it's Park Bo-kyum and An Song-hee with a 4 under. And then you've got tied ninth, where Park Ji-young and Ji Han-sol sit with a 3 under score. It's a tough call as to try and figure out who exactly would be the favorite for this tournament as of now, because you've also got Cho Hae-jin, Si Yoo-jin, Kang Ga-yul, and Jun Ji-ho, who are also in tied ninth with 3 under. So quite a bit of a change since day one when we started off. And there might be, of course, more changes as we get through the next few days. So all said and done, there's a lot to expect. Don't go anywhere as we continue with our coverage of this amazing tournament, which of course is pretty much marks the start of the professional season in a way. It's the Doosan ENC Weave Championship, and we are coming at you live from the Donghae Benist Golf Club in Busan, South Korea. We do hope that you've been enjoying, our coverage of this event over a period of time, including last year, and for joining us as always. I'd always say, Kansamida. It's always great to have you with us. So stay with us. Don't go anywhere. We've got a lot more coming up in the day for you. It's all said and done. It still, of course, is a very, very, well, pleasant day here in these parts of Doosan. And I do hope that you have, well, been with us right since the start of this event. Keep in mind the fact we've got a lot more coming up for you. As I did mention this earlier, this beautiful course was designed by Perio Dai, the master golf architect, who used to help, his father and Jack Nicklaus at one point of time in setting up golf courses. And we've also got the rain coming down. Wasn't really expecting that. There was a bit of cloudy skies earlier. Kim Min-sol will go in for her second, well, effort. And that just came out of the blue, didn't it, the rain? I don't know if you can pick up the audio from the cameras, and that'll tell you that it's fairly heavy. Not really dense as far as the rainfall is concerned, but well, those drops will just tell you a little bit of as to how it's pouring down. Now, there you can see it in the distance. There's quite a bit of rain. So once again, let's run you through the leaderboard as Lee Won occupies the top spot. She's still dining at the top with 10 under, Hong Jun-min with 9 under in second. Kim Min-sol, of course, has now sat in third with 6 under, Hwang Yoo-min with 5 under moving down. And that's what happens to Hwang Yoo-min. She has to find it within herself to come back up. She was in tied third. Now she sits with 5 under in tied fourth along with Kim Min-byul. And she will have to pull herself, together really soon. One of the things that does affect, play as far as golfers are concerned is really what you'd call the lightning conditions. And that happens in every sport. If there's thunder and lightning, and then for the safety of the golfers or the athletes, play will be stalled. Hopefully that's not going to happen here today because it's just, a spot of rain. We did have fairly cloudy skies predicted through the day, but then you can see that the sun also has been up, for most part of the day. So we are going to gauge the situation. As of now, it still looks like we've got a healthy contest on. While we do gauge, the weather conditions, more importantly, we'll also remind you of the fact that we've got a ton of events lined up, through this year that we'll be looking at in the KLPGA. The calendar is pretty much packed, and that'll run all the way till, December, when normally we do have the WeMix Championships, and that might actually, come about, right towards the end of the year. So here we go back again. There's still a spot of rain, but it's not too much. And getting herself into position to tee off. Here's Jung Ji Yo, 354 meters. And that's for hole number 10. Let's very quickly remind you that hole number 10 it's a par 4 hole with a downhill slope. You've got to be careful of that bunker and the OB on the right when you get to that. Temporary shelter here for our golfers. It is a spot of rain, and I do hope that it lifts rather soon. It looks more like a passing shower, but I'm not a weatherman. I can't really put my finger on it, or actually pinpoint what it's going to be. But I think the fans and the golfers themselves were expecting these conditions, which is why you will notice that most of them, of course, have turned up in slacks. And starting at 15 degrees, it's still, although it's pleasant, it's not really on the warmer side. Hong Jun-min will tee off for hole number 10. She's picked up 2 under today, kept herself consistent at 9 under, finished with 7 under yesterday, and I think she's tried to maintain that as best as she can. She's given that a bit of a strong whip, but she's stayed on the fairways, and I think that should make her fairly happy. Lee Won goes next. The driving accuracy has been 57% today. That's for hole number 10. I do believe that Lee Won has changed her slacks as well. Probably gone in with something that's more weather friendly. Well, definitely she's changed it to pink slacks. I could be wrong, but well, looks like it. I do love this descent from the tee off area. It's just those steps leading down to the fairways. I absolutely love this for hole number 10. Every single course has something unique in it that you remember. This is something that I will remember. There are some, of course, that have huge pond in front of the teeing off spot, but this is just outstanding. Layers. I love layers. Always add so much of depth to any situation. Kim Min-sol on to a third effort for hole 10. Bit of a distance for her, and that, it just skipped past. It just skipped past the tin cup. Wang Yumin will go on next. That's her second effort for hole number 11. Yes, Kim Min-byul will aim for birdie on hole number 12. Oh, we needed that. We all did. The birdie there on hole number 12. She's up to a 6 under, and Kim Min-byul will be a happy camper here. It's so needed. Kim and Sol, meanwhile, will look to keep her even score on this one and to maintain that 6 under. So the rain is definitely not going to spoil it for anybody. As I said, it was a passing shower. I don't think it's going to kind of stay for too long. Hopefully. Koji Yu onto a second effort for hole number 11. 360 meters to cover. Oh, there's another reason why, rain does affect a situation. That's visibility, especially if there's a bit of fog around the area. The visibility due to the haze becomes an effort, and then golfers don't really know which way they're going with their shots. Lee Won has got a hill to climb, not a mountain. A hill to climb. Well, she's got to get us. She's hit the rough a couple of times. Well, she pretty much kind of stuck to her consistent scores. She's done fairly well, but in the last few efforts, she has been hitting the rough, getting onto she got into the sand bunker once as well, and I think that's came out of it unscathed, but I think it could be an issue on some days. Now this is a bit of an issue, isn't it? To get yourself out of this position, she's definitely going to go with a wedge, and she's just definitely going to go and probably chip this as hard as she can. But it's all about being able to get that elevation right. Not the easiest. It's a tough ask. It is a tough ask, and I don't put it past her to not be able to pull it off as such. So a second effort on hole number 10. Well, can't get a perfect placement on it, but I think she would have done fairly well to get herself out of a spot. And that's what delays, or adds another effort to your quota of strokes. And that's basically for a hole when you get into the rough, when you get into, one of those hazards along the way, whether it's a water or a sand hazard. And that's really the reason why your score then tends to be, under threat. But Lee Won, she's been there before. This isn't something that she can't handle. Wang Yumin will aim for birdie on hole number 11. She's got to get herself back up to that 6 under. That ball's just going to trail forward, but it won't hit the tin cup, not this time. Lee Won, third effort for hole number 10. Remember, she had to get out of the hazard for the previous one. Now she'll have to land herself on the green. She's looking at 118 meters. Well, it's a bit of a distance, from the flagstick, and she just might be able to pull off an, on par finish here, or she might have to bogey that one, and she knows she's got herself in just a spot of trouble. Well, that happens in every single golfer's day at the office. Another day, another challenge. Jung Ji-ho on to her second effort. Wang Junmin on to her second effort. She landed herself in the clear. She's got herself onto the green as well, just like her counterpart at quite a distance from the flagstick. Was just talking about this, yesterday, and I said I will talk about the equipment. Talking about it earlier, sorry. Hwang Yumin aims for an on-par finish for hole number 11. And just taking things very, very carefully now. Well, she's dropped 2 spots on the leaderboard since the start of the day, and I don't think that's what she expected. Yes, Park Hyun Kyung. 78 meters to the hole. It's a third effort on hole number 9. Meanwhile, Ko Ji-yu will aim for birdie on hole number 11, and she needs that more than anything else. Well done there. She's up to a 2 under now. So Lee Won still leads the way with that 10 under. Remember, she's got herself in a spot of trouble there. She could drop to a 9 under to tie with Hong Junmin. Hong Junmin has had a steady increase. She's up to now second position, and she's stayed there for a bit. She's got a 9 under. Kim Min-byul and Kim Min-sol with 6 under and tied third, and then you've got the trio there, in tied fifth. So we're talking about that tied fifth, where Park Byo-kyum has actually moved up the order. She's got 5 under, and we spoke of how you can expect a lot from her. And she's tied with Park Hae-jun and Hwang Yu-min in tied fifth, and then you've got the tied 8th with Park Ji-young, Cho Hae-ji 2, and Jung Ji-ho, who've got 4 under. And it's going to be interesting to see how they really perform here at the Donghae Benist Golf Club. Not always easy, but there's a lot that you can do if you do tend to put in your best and maintain your temperament on the course, and that's much needed here. So don't go anywhere as we continue with our coverage here of this outstanding, pretty much the opener for the season. And I do hope, of course, that you've been enjoying our coverage of it just as much as we enjoy, having you for company. Was just looking back at, the tour since 2016. And there were 33 tournaments back then. 2015 there were 31, 2014 there were 26, 2013 there were 23. The least was in 2011 and 2009 when there were 20 tournaments. And I don't know whether it's sponsor driven or whether it's sponsor specific, but let's not forget that the more the merrier. And being the 48th season, it's quite a prestigious one year for us. The Blue Canyon Ladies Championship, played off first, and Park Bo-kyum won that, and that was on the 16th of March, and that was also her third title, which is why I was saying she has been in the focus of the lens for a reason. And after the Doosan Weave Championship, we get into the 1 billion championship, that is the IM Financial Group Open, which happens on the 13th of April, followed by the Nexon St. Nine Masters on the 20th of April. So we're looking at 30 events this year, and then there's always that chance of the WeMix Championship coming up, which could be like 30 plus a bonus kind of event. It's not really a KLPGA event, but it does still come under anything that's played in golf professionally in the women's will come under the KLPGA in terms of the governance and the rules. That's pretty much what it is. Lee Won goes next, looking to finish on par for hole number 10. Wang Yumin will tee off for hole number 12. She's using an 8 iron, carrying a score of 5 under. She's dropped from that 7 under that she had. Chung Ji-yo aims for birdie on hole 10, doable, needs to navigate the challenge of that slope away from the target, and that was a problem. So she will settle for an on par. I don't think she'll be too concerned about that. An Song-yi teeing off. Hong Junmin. It's quite a distance for her for a birdie on hole 10. And she needed that birdie to tie with the lead. On the other hand, if you ask me, if Lee Won doesn't nail it on par, it's still anyway the two of them who are going to be in tied first. So Kim and Sol, second effort for her. Yes, Hong Junmin looking to finish on par for hole number 10. And that's exactly what she does. So she'll keep that 9 under, and I think she's just a tad bit disappointed that she didn't go up to a 10 under, but I don't think that's a bit of a worry, keeping in mind the fact that Lee Won has a lot to achieve to keep that 10 under right now. Hwang Yumin We'll aim for birdie on hole number 12. Well, that's a tad bit unfortunate for her. She's had to live through the motions today, you know, dropping 2 under. But she'll keep that 5 under score and leave on here to bogey this one. And we knew this was going to happen, so she's going to be tied first if she finishes this with a bogey. Tied first with Hong Junmin with 9 under. And that's exactly what happens now. She's just lost her leadership, but she's the co-leader after she bogeyed hole number 10. So it's a battle between her and Hong Junmin now. I won't say it's a battle, but it's a contest. Kim Min Sol aiming for birdie on hole number 11, and she can upgrade her position too. Oh, that's as close can get. Just a worthy finish, and she'll be happy about it. And that's a decent enough way to rack up your 4 under back again. On hole number 12, she's had 2 bogeys in today. Park In Kyung aims for birdie on hole 9, and she's done it. So she moves up to a 1 under. Oh, she's had a really mixed bag, and she's got so many birdies and bogeys in there. It's been a colourful event for her, but she'll be happy to have finished with a 1 under. Not her best tournament to start off with. Love those trees behind, absolutely love them. Bamboo, isn't it? Hong Junmin, it's like a bamboo grove. I do love bamboo groves, so you have to be careful around them sometimes when you've got, the crawlies around there. Leave on. Getting to the steps. Got a couple of them actually. And those steps, of course, just made for the teeing off spot, depending on the distance that's going to be, well, really used, at least in the previous hole on hole number 10. Hole number 11 is different. Par 4 for the asking, 360 meters. Here goes Lee Yvonne, who's the joint leader, with her counterpart and part of the trio, Hong Junmin. Good bit of swing on that, stayed off the rough. I don't think she'll have any reason to complain as of now. Here goes Kim Min Sol. Well, thought she was going to hook that for a bit, but she's actually gone fairly straight. I don't think she has any reason to, complain. Park Hae-jun will tee off for hole number 12 using a 7 iron. 152 meters is what she's looking at. Not a bad placement at all. And that mini exodus continues with our family and friends. We're still moving around their favorite golfers. Here's Hwang Yoo-min. Oh, sorry, that's Jung Ji-yo. Going in for a second effort for hole number 11, 360 meters to cover. Well, that's a terrific spot on the green. That is an absolutely terrific spot from Jung Ji-yo. Hong Jun-min will go in with her second effort for hole number 11. Also placed fairly well. Remember, hole number 11 does slope slightly to the left. You've got to be very careful of the hazard on the left side, and that's what our golfers were trying to avoid. Lee Won. Well, she's on next. Also terrific placement here from Lee Won, just matching, you know, her current trio member. Oh, such an amazing shot there from Lee Won, and she knows it. Beautiful placement on the carpet from her. Kang Ga-yul teeing off for hole number 12 using a 7 iron, 152 meters to cover. She's got a 3 under in the bag as of now. Decent placement. Well, on the green, but it's going to be, well, just a tad bit away from the destination. Well, she could get a birdie on this, and I think that's going to make her happy all the same. Remember, there's a bit of a sloping area near the tin cup. Kure Hon. Third effort on hole number 9, 73 meters to the hole, 7.1 meters of elevation is what we're looking at. Not a bad effort at all, but it's going to be a challenge for her still to get that birdie. Absolutely love those borders. They look like, you know, teacup saucers. Hong Jun-min on for birdie for hole number 11, and if she can nail this, she'll take the leadership position, and she's just missed it, just kissing the rim, well, off the surface, and it's a bit unfortunate here. Was aiming for that 10 under for certain. Kureon will aim for birdie as well. Opportunity here to make it count, but she'll have to settle for an on par finish. So she finishes with a 1 over her day's efforts. While she does that, here's Hong Junmin. Finishes with an on par. She'll hold on to that 9 under and the joint leadership that she shares with Lee Won. Well, the sun's beginning to come up nice and bright after that spot of rain. Did mention it was a passing shower. Here's An Song Hee with a third effort for hole number 13. And Chung Ji-ho will aim for birdie on hole number 11. She's done well here, and I think she'll be happy. She's tied 5th with 5 under. Started her day with 4 bogeys and then had 1 birdie as redemption in that first 9. And a birdie of her, she needs a couple more of them because she was really on a high with the scores. But now to be tied 5th after that opening 4, well, bogeys, I think was a bit of a harsh start. I'm not even going to say a hard, but a harsh start to the day. Kim In-sol aims for birdie on hole 12. And that ball just a tad bit stubborn. Decides to have a mind of its own. Lee Won here aiming to get her leadership back. Oh, and yes, she does. So it's a 10 under, and she's the leader back again here. Had a bogey on hole number 10. She's bounced back on hole number 11. And really leading the way by example, if you ask me. Hwang Yumin gets ready to tee off. Or she's, well, finished teeing off. She's on to her third effort. I do apologize. 66 meters to the hole. Well, I just saw that number 13 there, and that kind of threw me off. But oh, what a fine finish that would have been. And that's how Hwang Yumin really delights. What a beautiful finish that would have been. Just missing out on the joy there, Hwang Yumin. Park Hae-jun now aiming for birdie on hole number 12. Also getting ready to tee off here. Jung Ji-ho. Well, tees off well. Just a tad bit of a hook in there from her, and I think she stayed off the water hazard, got herself onto the green. I don't think she'll be too upset about that. Here's Lee Won up next. Lee Won, currently the leader with a 10 under. Got Hong Junmin behind in 9 under. Will aim for a birdie with this one. It's a par 3 for the asking. It's kept it fairly straight too. And she's just got a bit too much of airmail on that one. That's just moved off the green entirely, but still on the rough edge. Hong Junmin will tee off for hole number 12. Remember, she's tapping on the doors within which, the counterpart Lee Won sits. Oh, how close was that? Absolutely marvelous effort from her. Now the other end is An Song Hee aiming for birdie on hole number 13. 4.8 meters to the hole. And that ball definitely afraid of the dark here. Will just need a bit of coaxing. Pak Bo Kyum, elevation of 17.72 meters is what she was looking at. Coach Yu. And that's well done, absolutely well done. Slight upward slope there, so it's 2 birdies so far, and she's gone up to 3 under. Meanwhile, Hwang Yumin will tee off for will move on to hole number 13, where she's got her 4th effort to go through, and she will nail it with the birdie, so gets the score back up to a 6 under, tied 3rd as of now. Had a bogey on the 9th and the 10th, and we hope she's gone past that. Stepping out of the crowd, here's Lee Won. It's never going to be an easy ask. Remember, getting out of the rough, Lee Won had flown the green. Now she's trying to gauge the distance, because this was always going to be a tough shot. And if she looks at the line that she's got to get past, also the fact that that area around the chin cup does slope a bit, I think it's going to be quite important to see how she can actually come through this. Hole number 12, she should aim for an on par probably, and that's what's going on in her mind. It's a very good effort here from Lee Won. Meanwhile, elsewhere on the course, Seo Yoo-jin will miss the tin cup, but she will take her chances. And it's very important that you take everything that you can in your stride. You try and, find yourself a piece of the pie rather than wait for it to come to you. Hong Junmin, picture of concentration here. Sorry, Jung Ji-yo, picture of concentration. And she's along with Hong Junmin and Lee Won in that trio. She'll have to bide her time. Park Bo-kyung needs to get herself up to a 6 under. There's a bit of a slope there, as you can see, sloping away towards that left, and I think an even score will be good enough as long as she doesn't drop points. Hong Junmin will aim for birdie on hole 12 to tie with Lee Won. And what a sheer bit of disappointment here for Hong Junmin. Once again, that leadership on the board just eluding her. She did share it for just one hole with Lee Won when Lee Won dropped points due to a bogey. So she's still in second position, Hong Junmin, with a 9 under. Meanwhile, Kang Ga-yul, hole 13, her third effort. Well done. Absolutely well done by her. Now back to Lee Won. On to hole number 12, looking to finish on par to maintain that 10 under that she's got in the bag. And I think that's so important. Her par saves have been 82%. It's come to her aid right through to keep her score, fairly in that region of 8 to 10. And gently does it, so Lee Won will have no worries as of now. She's still on the leaderboard. Here's Kim Min-sol. Hole number 3. A par 5 for the asking, 497 meters in all. Needs to position herself well on the carpet. And that's just kept her away from it and on the rough. Bit unfortunate here for Hong Junmin earlier. She could have nailed the top spot once again, and this time by ascending that leaderboard. But here she is. She will tee off. Hong Junmin with a 9 under score. Hong Junmin just gauging the situation. Well, as a counterpart, both steps up. Lee Won will tee off for hole number 13. 10 under is what she's carrying. She's had a driving accuracy of about 56% today. Not the best, but not really bad either. Lee Won will tee off. Good bit of swing in that, puts her entire body into that motion. Very, very classic. We'll tee off from her, and once again it's the rough. She seems to be finding those beige, fawn colored and brown earth kind of surfaces right through her tee off. Don't think it's been the happiest time for her, but she'll have to soak it in. Now Kim Min Sol, bit of a tough ask for her on hole number 13. Will have to get herself closer to the destination, and she could have actually finished that. It would have shut me up at least, but she'll have to go in for an on par finish. An Chang-yi aims for birdie on hole number 14. And An Chang-yi will be happy to have nailed another birdie on hole number 14, which means she's up to a 5 under. Let's not forget the prize money for this event, over 800,000 US dollars. Kang Ga-yul aims for birdie on hole number 13. Oh, wonderfully done. That just found its way in. Wonderfully done by Kang Ga-yul, and she's had consecutive birdies on 12 and 13, so that takes her to a 5 under. At the other end of the spectrum, we've definitely got a change coming on here, and I think Hwang Yoo-min has a lot to work towards as far as regaining her composure is concerned. Oh, that is a wonderful effort. Very well gauged, and she's at tied third now. Consecutive birdies on 13 and 14, 7 under in the bag, and we're looking at Hwang Yoo-min now, just staging a nice little comeback to where she started off today's event on a positive note. Park Hae-jun aiming for birdie on hole number 13. And she'd be disappointed. I would be too. There's no doubt about it. Just a gentle tap-in should finish it for her, as she'll take another even score. Just a very nice view of that hole, as well as the surroundings of the golf course. There's traffic on the left, a huge amount of buildings that surround the back and the right area behind, more of the hills on the left area, and you've got a few picturesque houses. Here's Lee Won, once again on the rough, needs to find the smooth side of life on this course. It's only her second stroke, 497 meters in all to cover, a par 5 for the asking. elevation of under 11.14. Hong Jin-min onto her second as well, keeping it fairly gentle. Good amount of wrist action in there. She doesn't use too much of body behind that effort, and I think she wanted to keep it safe rather than get it to travel the distance. Jung Ji-yo onto her second stroke for hole 13, 271 meters to cover, under or minus 11 was where she was standing at, just getting a view of where it's landed. I think she was just checking in on the ball. I think the previous one, there was a bit of a fault in it. Remember, well, golf balls do get worn out every now and then. And also the fact that, she did land herself into a spot of trouble. So she's going to take another crack at it. That's a provisional ball that's been added. Jung Ji-yo trying to overcome, her obstacles here today. So there we have the standings. Lee Won still continues to lead at the top with the 10 under. She's picked up only 3 under so far today. Hong Jun-min in second with 9 under. She's picked up 2 under. Hwang Yu-min in third now with 7 under. She's done well. Kim Min-sol with 6 under is in tied fourth. So there are a couple of changes that we're looking at, and this is going to be very important to see how things pan out. So the leaderboard for us as it stands, it's that top 4 that we're looking at, and then we've got Park Bo-kyum in tied 5th, who's done fairly well too. So she might come to the fore, with her efforts. Stay with us, don't go anywhere as we continue with our coverage of this amazing event right here in Busan. And just to remind you, in case you would have slipped past what we said, this is the Doosan ENC Weave Championship. It's 822.120.84 US dollars, and we are coming at you live from the Donghae Benist Golf Course. Stay with us, don't go anywhere. And I think placement there straight onto the carpet area will always be a good thing. But Lee Won, remember, she'll aim for birdie on hole number 13, try and stretch it to a 11 under. And if she can do that, it also works as a morale booster for what she'll be doing tomorrow. And she's definitely going to be, back here as one of the front runners. So, well, almost does it for her. Almost does it. I don't know about you, but I just had to step away to get myself a cup of joe. Wang Yumin onto her, well, 5th and final effort for hole number 15. This can be, of course, a bit of a problem, because once again she just stepped back up and got into that tied 3rd, and now she bogeys that. She'll step back down to a 6 under score. Kim Min Byul meanwhile will aim for birdie on hole number 16. Well, fairly close enough to the destination, and I think that should work well for her. She'll just tap that in. Many of the golfers, of course, who started off in the late morning, well, pretty much coming close to finishing their efforts for round 3. And Hong Junmin needs to finish with a birdie to tie for the lead. Lee Won looks on. And once again, a narrow miss. She's come towards tying for the lead. She's come close on 4 occasions and missed out. She'll have to tap that in for an own par. Meanwhile, here's Park Hae-jun. It's hole number 14. And she's just gone past the destination. Wasn't too easy for her. No worries at all for An Sung-hee, who has back-to-back birdies on 14 and 15. Goes up to 6 under and is now tied 4th on the leaderboard. Meanwhile, Jung Ji-ho will aim for birdie on hole number 13, and it's doable. Just about a little under 2 feet. So she's also tied 4th now with a 6 under. So most of the golfers picking up. Jung Ji-ho had pretty much the worst start to the day, with those 4 consecutive bogeys. And she'll have to be careful when she, gets back onto the course tomorrow. Kang Ga-yul will miss out on a birdie narrowly. Will have to settle for an on-par. I don't think she's going to be too bothered about that. Most of the golfers now sitting between that 5 under to a 10 under. And Wang Yumin. Oh, that's just going to drop her points down. Aiming for a double bogey on hole 15. And that's very unfortunate. A buzzard for her, which drags her back down to a 5 under and a tied 6th. Well, she's certainly gone through the motions today. Kim Min Sol, meanwhile, aims for birdie on hole 14. And what a narrow miss for her. What a narrow miss. It's moments like this that you are concerned about, where it's going to take you. But an even score will still be all right. So just saying that I did have to step away just to get myself a cup of joe. And, I don't know if you are a fan of the coffee that you get in Korea. Well, I totally am, especially the cold brew. But hot coffee for today, no cold brew for today. Park Hae-jun well, there is a bit of sun outside, but the temperature is fairly pleasant, more towards the cooler side. I do love it when it's like this. Anything between 5 degrees and 18 degrees for me is pretty much paradise. I can't say all the golfers share the same feeling, but always love the cold. And some of the tournaments, when we get into November and December, well, that's just, or November actually, it's really a different ball game. And here we have another tap in, and I think she's just going to be well pleased with that. Kang Ga-yul, meanwhile Park Hae-jun will attempt to finish this, and she has with the bogey on hole 14, so that's going to drop her down the points to a 4 under. Well, this is one golfer who's made a few strides here today. She's kept the focus on her, and it will be interesting to see how she can actually navigate through the remaining challenges of today before she gets into the big day tomorrow. Remember, Jung Ji-yo has given us some very amazing moments here today. 166 meters, par 3 for the asking. Her choice is 6 iron. She's got a good bit of elevation on that. Lee Won. Driving accuracy hasn't been the best at about 50%, but her score pretty much tells us a story. Putting average about 1.46, but keep in mind the fact that she has 10 under still in the bag. 166 meters. She's gone in with the 5 iron as her choice. She tees off for hole number 14. Just gets herself off the carpet area on the border. Better sitting on the border than sitting on the beach or sitting on the rough for too long. Remember, on day 1 and day 2 normally the crowds don't normally come, and it's just family and friends who are there to keep you company, and then of course it slowly builds up along with the paparazzi, and I mean mainly the golf feature writers and those that cover for Golf Digest and Golf Magazine. Now Hong Jun-min here, she's had bogeys on both days on hole number 14. She'll try to change that today, and that could work well for her. Park Byo-kyum, second effort on hole number 18, 166 meters to the hole. She's had 5 under, been fairly consistent, has had her ups and downs here today, but would like to finish on a positive note. Meanwhile, Kim Min-sol, second effort on hole number 15, going in with a 9 iron, elevation of about 10.6 meters, and it's 107 meters to the hole. I do love the changing colors of the trees, and it's a nice little collage that you're looking at. Well placed by her. It's been fairly quick here today. An Song-yi now. Second effort for hole 16. And she's definitely flown the green there, no doubt about it. Bit of a chilly dip here for Park Hae-jun, but it's all going to work well for her, even if it's going to roll back a little bit. Park Hae-jun has struggled a bit today, but most of the golfers, well, after hole number 12, just trying to pick themselves up. Ko Ji-woo onto a second effort for hole 16. She sits with the 2 under, 15.8 meters of elevation that she's looking at, 138 meters to the hole, and I think very wisely put. And this is where your caddy really plays a part when it comes to the selection of the club. And sometimes, I've always said this, sometimes your caddies are really the best golfers on the course. You don't even realize it. Many of them just refuse to take part in competitive sport, but they're just amazing because they're the ones that spend the most time with the equipment. So, good advice there from her caddy for Ko Ji-woo. Now, Lee Won, a birdie on hole 14. It's a bit of a tough ask from that distance, but she'll have to try and stay consistent and avoid a bogey here. Oh, she could have actually nailed that. She could have. Wang Yumin. Second effort on hole number 16. She's gone in with a 7-iron. Well done there by Wang Yumin. Just finding a groove back again, and she needs to get that 2 under that she lost. Also going through the motions and just eluding her that joint leadership after she shared it for just 1 hole. Hong Jun-min aims for birdie on hole 14. And that's the 5th time around. Well, I'm not really counting, but it's the 5th time around she's missed out on the joint leadership. And by her own efforts and not, Lee Won dropping points. Kang Ga-yul is on to hole 15. Her 3rd effort. A birdie might be a tough ask, but an even score might be a better proposition. Park Bo-kyung on hole 18, the 3rd effort. She'll be a happy camper. Jung Ji-ho will aim for birdie on hole number 14. It's a 6 under that she's got currently. And very interesting to see how she can navigate through that. Park Hae-jun. And that's her 3rd effort. Well, I think she'll be happy about that. Meanwhile, here's Choi Yan. That's pretty much going to be her last play for the day. She's got a 3 over score, aiming for birdie on hole 18. Would be nice for her to finish on a positive note. And yes, she does. If the heavens smile on you, they smile at the right time. So a birdie on hole 18 and just a bit of a buffer for her. She finishes with a 2 over today. but just a bit of joy for her to end the day's event. Hong Junmin looking to finish on par for hole 14. And that's exactly what she does. And Kim Min Sol takes the birdie on hole 15. That takes her to a tied third, 7 under. She's had 3 birdies and a bogey today. And I think that's just going to work really well for her. Meanwhile, An Song Yi, third effort for hole 16. She needs to keep her points intact too because she's carrying a 6 under. And that's just going to elude her. Might be a spot of trouble for her, that slope just pulling the ball away entirely. Park Bo Kyung aiming to finish with a birdie on hole 18. Well, that would have been a perfect finish for her had she done it. But she'll tap it in to finish her day's event with a 5 under. 35 on the front and 34 on the back 9. 4 birdies and a bogey in there today. Not a bad performance at all. Hong Junmin. Well, just took a bit of a breather before she could get back to tee off for hole number 15. Remember, she's the one that's been playing tag by staying in second position on the leaderboard behind Lee Won for the most part of this day. And that's going to be interesting to see how she finishes off. So her counterparts, Lee Won, will go next. And she's knocked off those pink slacks. I think they were more water resistant. Just easier for actually match the sakura blossoms. As you can see, there's just a patch of the pink there shining through. The remaining blossoms, of course, have turned to more of a light pink. By the end of the day, most of them will be gone, or by tomorrow, some will be gone. Par 4 scoring, an average of 3.778. That's what we're looking at for Lee Won. Oh, she's just lived life on the edge today. In spite of keeping that lead, she's always been close to either the sandbox, close to the hazards, or just on the border. Really living life on the edge today, Lee Won, but she's been able to, stay in control, and I think that that's admirable. Ko Ji-yu, hole number 16. Remember the caddy helping her with the choice of club earlier. She'll have to settle for an even score for this one, there's no doubt about it. Meanwhile, here's Han Aryum will aim for birdie on hole number 9. And that'll take her to an 5 over as she finishes the day's event. Not the fanciest, but I think she'll still be happy. Well, she played the front 9 second. Han Song-yi for hole 16, looking to finish on par to maintain a 6 under score. And that's just going to elude her. And that's decent enough finish for Joo Gain. Will finish with the positive, 35 on the front, 36 on the back, and a 1 over score. But a birdie to finish the day's event is always a buffer, or a bit of a, I'd say, almost like a band-aid for a wound. Wang Yumin aiming for birdie on hole 16. Oh, that's got to be disastrous. Well, what a miss for her. So very, very close to just getting to that 6 under. She's hovered between that, 5 under and 7 under. Well, that was much within her reach. I think just a tad bit impulsive when she did pull the trigger. I think she was. Well, sometimes when you know that that birdie is within reach, just tend to be a little more confident. But she'll keep an even score here. Unfortunately, missed out on a birdie. Jung Ji-ho onto a second stroke for hole 15. Lee Won, second effort on hole 15. Kim Min-sol onto her second stroke. Well, that's perfect placement. That is perfect placement, and I think she'll be happy about it. Hong Jung-min has had her, fair share of worries, but it hasn't really been something so detrimental that she's not been able to overcome them. So Lee Yvonne still holding her own there. She's through hole 14, and she's currently playing hole 15. She's got 10 under at the top of the heap, and Hong Jun-min still in second with 9 under. Kim Min-sol in third with 7 under, and Jung Ji-yo in fourth with 6 under. Park Bo-kyung, An Song-yi, Hwang Yoo-min, Kang Ga-yul staying tied fifth with 5 under. Hwang Yoo-min, of course, as I've always said, such a wonderful golfer to watch, but she tends to choke at, very, very important times during the course of the game. That sounds strange, doesn't it? During the event, I'd say. And I think that's one of the things she'll have to overcome. But as I said, one of the golfers that has such great temperament and such a lovely spirit that she brings onto, such a positive spirit she brings onto the course, that you really don't, kind of see those little flaws that exist. But if she kind of irons those out, she'll probably be one of the best golfers around. She still is. She still is voted one of the best golfers because on her day, she can really come to the fore. Having said that, we do continue with our coverage here at the Donghae, Benist Golf Club. Remember, this is an event that, pretty much marks the start of the professional season in a very big way. And it will be interesting to see how the season progresses. 30 events that we're looking at in all. And then, of course, that Remix Championship, if it's in, then it'll be the 31st event, not under the KLPGA's, calendar, but still governed by, LPGA laws and rules and regulations. Park Hyun-kyung, of course, did not have, one of my favorite golfers, did not have a great day today. She was in tie 22nd with a 1 under. And there's probably... we might not see her, in action tomorrow. So currently, as it stands, we do have still a couple more holes to play before we can find out who will finish at the top of the heap. Remember, tomorrow, the numbers do get halved. You start off with 120, you get down to finally, probably by, day 3, you're down to 60 golfers. And then, of course, that goes down even further. So whether you call it, I would never say this for any of the ladies, but, just speaking generically to say, you trim the fat, but actually I would not use that in a women's event. The sakura blossoms, as I said, they bloom, and then of course they do turn to that lighter shade before they finally fall off. And when it's that pink, it's like a pink flame. I just absolutely love it. I don't know if you're a big fan of sakura blossoms, but one of the good things at the Donghae Benist Golf Club is that you see so many of them. One of my favorite moments has been, going to Jeonju, where I remember, in the month of November, if I'm not mistaken, it was very cold at that time. And when the bus was passing by that road that gets into Jeonju, and the whole street or that whole road is actually covered with trees of different colors. So you have, you've got magenta, you've got indigo, you've got pink, you've got yellow, you've got orange. it's almost like the colors of the rainbow. It's like getting into rainbow country. It's just amazing. So here's Lee Yvonne. She's been the golfer to watch, with the change of slacks, with the change of outfits, and of course maintaining that score. Aiming for a birdie here was always going to be a tough ask, but as long as she can keep her score untouched, I think that she will still be the golfer to beat in this event, because she certainly emerged as that. Han Sung-hee goes next. Her second stroke for hole 17. And it's very strange if you think of it, you know, the Blue Canyon Ladies Championship, which started this year as the first event, was not really, Park Bo-kyung won it. But if you look at last year, Chung Ji-ho, of course, getting ready for a birdie on hole number 15. She'll have to settle for an on par. So if you look at last year, the Blue Canyon Ladies Championship was won by Lee Yvonne. Back then it was $650,000 US. This year it's $800,000 US. The Doosan ENC Weave Championship was won by Hwang Yoo-min, and that was a second win in the KLPGA. And Lee Yvonne, of course, after winning the Blue Canyon, well, did not surface till 12th May when she won the NH Investment and Securities Ladies Championship, which made it a 5th KLPGA win. And then she surfaced again for the 1 billion Suyup Bank MBN Ladies Open, and I was there for that. She was stellar in her performance. And then she just kind of dipped out, you know, of the circuit, in the sense that she was there for most of the events, but did not make her presence felt like Mada Som did towards the latter part of the year. And this has been such an elusive factor for Hong Jun-min. 6 times now that she's missed out on a birdie for a tied leadership. And she's just soaked it in really well. So Kim Min-sol. Oh, that was close, but not close enough as Kim Min-sol would have liked it to have been. So Lee Yvonne looking to finish on par for hole 15. And yes, she does. She'll still keep that 10 under, 3 more holes to go. So Hwang Yoo-min is actually the defending champion in this event now. Whether she can hold her own, I think that's a big question, you know, as we speak of it here. Well, she's still in there. Chance here for a birdie on hole 17. And once again, just that tad bit of impulsion, you know, she's not really, does tend to lose her path just a little bit. Kim Min-sol looks to finish on par for hole 16. And she'll keep her 7 under score intact, so that she can be back tomorrow to battle it out. She's still got 2 more holes to play today. Lee Yvonne will tee off for hole 16. What's very interesting about Lee Yvonne is that she has 6 KLPGA wins under her belt, championships. This could be her 7th if she picks it up. Hong Joo-min just following Lee Yvonne. On Song Yi aims for birdie on hole number 17. And that's decent enough. Well finished for her. Whoop of joy. Always good to finish with a positive somewhere down the line, especially when you're going through a tough time. Park Min-ji, we missed her today. She's carrying a 1 over, her second effort for hole number 18. It's not been her, well, best outing. But remember, it's only the second event of the year. Here's Hwang Yoo-min. Look to finish on par for hole 17. Well, she just missed out on hole 17 and hole 16 to have finished with birdie. She could have got herself back up to that 7 under, and she knows it. It's been a challenge for her today, and she's finally got 1 hole left to play. She'll have to make the cut for that if she wants to be in tomorrow. There's no doubt about it. Back to Lee Won. The second stroke for hole number 16. It's going to be an interesting one for her. Once again, and that's exactly what I was talking about. She's been hitting the rough so many times today. She's kind of escaped most of them, but did drop, did have a bogey where she, then tied with Hong Jun-min for the top spot on the leaderboard. But having said that, well, she's really going to have to dig deep. And she's, well, a bit of a, she's got a huge story behind her, Lee Won, but Jung Ji-yo gets on to a second stroke for hole 16. And what I do like about, Lee Won, if you look at her, she was a rookie on the KLPGA in 2022. She's just 22 years old, when you think about it. She's not a big girl. She's about just 5'4" inches, very petite. And Lee Won, of course, joined the jump tour as a 17-year-old at the start of 2021. Within a few months, she had multiple wins and qualified for the Dream Tour. By the end of the season, she finished 4th and got a full KLPGA status in 2022. Yoon In-ah was the biggest rookie rival, and they've remained, of course, friends and rivals since then. Hong Jun-min, her second effort for hole 16 as well. She's got herself onto the green. Another chance here to tie for that leadership. But Lee Won, of course, got off to a better start than Yoon In-ah in 2022. She made it all the way to the finals of the Doosan match play. And it's a strange thing that she remains, one of those few players. If you look at how she's performed, she had the most amount of wins for a rookie. Or rather, she had made about 850 million without any win at one point of time, million won. So, but she was just tapping at, all those top 3 finishes every time. And that's what you really want to see, on the golf course. You want to see golf players really step it up. Yes, Park Min-ji. Well, we'll be looking to finish with a birdie here and an even score, and that should do her well. She's got still 2 strokes left. Park Hae-jun. Second stroke for hole number 17. 100 meters to the hole. You're looking at under 4.5 elevation. That ball's going to just roll back or spin back a little bit, given that uneven surface there. Kim Min-byul, 3.9 meters to finish with the birdie on hole 18. Now that ball's just afraid of the duck. There's no doubt about it. Would have been nice to have seen her finish with underscore, but she'll finish with an on par. 4 under, 35 on the front, 37 on the back. She's had about 3 bogeys and 4 birdies in there. Meanwhile, Kim Min-sol, her second stroke for hole 17. She'll try and keep that 7 underscore untouched, and she'll need to do that. And it's over to An Seong-gi, who's onto a second stroke for hole 18. Remember, it's a par 5 for the asking, 177 meters to the hole. Well, she's kept decent form today, hasn't really, struggled too much. She's just kind of been in free flow in the sense that she's played a game very, very naturally. There's been a few intense moments, and that's what I meant. She's still got a smile on her face. She's kind of enjoyed this round of golf. Lee Won, she's onto her third stroke for hole 16, and this, has been a stumbling block today. It's just been living life on the edge, as I said. It's either been the rough, it's been the sandbox, or the cat box. It's been pretty much now itself. She sits on the border there on the rough, and it's going to be a challenge for her to finish with an on par. Ko Ji-woo onto her second stroke for hole 18. Will try and nail this as best as she can, because she'd like to finish with probably a 3 under. And just a bit too much of arm on that one, I think. So we are coming to that part of the day when we are nearing the finish of round 3. Jung Ji-ho is on to her 16th hole. Will aim for birdie here. She too needs to be very careful with that 6 underscore that she's got, and bit of a duff shot if you ask me, but I don't think she was expecting that ball to travel too much. She was also trying to be a bit, careful, I'd say, after she's had a few jabs, sent the ball way over where her destination was. Hwang Yoo-min, second stroke for hole 18, and lands herself short of the green, but just sits outside it on the rough. These challenges have been a lot as we get into the last few holes. Lee Won now needs to finish on par to keep a score intact. And that putt, so important. Oh, what a narrow miss. What a narrow miss. And Lee Won looks like she just might end up, bogeying that. A bit disastrous. Talking of which, Kang Ga-yeol is on to her 17th hole, and she That's 15 meters to cover. The third effort. That's nicely done. Jingjio looking to finish on par. Oh, what a moment. Her expression said it all. I just love that. Well, that is one for the video archives. Well played to the gallery, if you ask me. Well, just went with the motion of that ball there. Hwang Yumin. Third stroke for hole 18, and that's another, well, disastrous effort for her. She would have liked to have, got that onto the green, and it's just got to be a waste of a stroke. She did have a chance to finish off with a birdie, although it was a big ask. Now Lee Won will aim to bogey on hole 16. And that's been really the story, isn't it? So now she's the joint leader, 9 under with Hong Jun-min. Hong Jun-min has missed out on 6 opportunities to tie as the leader. And, Lee Won has had 6 opportunities where she's actually struggled and kept that 10 under in place until now. Kim Min-sol will aim for birdie on hole 17. And she'll have to settle for an even score as well. So it's going to be, it's been such an interesting battle for Hong Jun-min. Playing against herself, and then Lee Won playing against herself, because as I said, she's literally lived life on the edge. Now here's Hong Jun-min on hole number 16, and a chance once again not to tie for leadership, but to actually claim the top spot on the leaderboard. And that's going to be interesting for the first time. And she does it. And she actually does it. What do you say about that? So finally, Hong Jun-min, what a sigh of relief for her, as she claims the leadership now. Lee Won in second position with 9 under. Hong Jun-min with 10 under in the top spot. 2 more holes to go for the ladies. Park Hae-jun will aim for birdie on hole 17. Oh, that's just lipped out. Wasn't really expecting that to happen. Always has a characteristic style of putting. Uses her forearm very stiff, halfway down the club. Very few golfers, do that nowadays. Sometimes it's also to gain or to keep a steady hand. And Hwang Yumin is not having a good finish to round 3. Kim Min-sol will have to settle for an even score here on hole 17. Oh, that slipped out. Just a tad bit too much of a push on it. And she's going to drop points here with a bogey. Unexpected. Well, it's a 6 under. A bogey there on the 17. Remember, she had a buzzard in that first 9 as well. So Kim Min-sol dropping points, and I don't think she was going to be too happy about it. Driving accuracy 92% for Hong Jun Min. As the leader, she tees off for hole 17. Ko Ji-yu, chance for an eagle here on hole 18. It's quite a distance, and a birdie might be a better opportunity for her. Oh, and that's straight into, or straight onto the beach for her. I don't think she was really expecting that. So she's not going to be too happy about it. Lee Won tees off for hole number 17, and she's going to try and get a groove back. Just a bit more confidence in there. A solid shot from her, and she's landed plumb into the cat box. Han Sung-yi will aim for eagle on hole number 18, and I said that she's been a happy camper, been in good stead right through, and if she can nail an eagle here, she'll get her points up to, you know, that 8 under, which is so very important. And she's just about missed the, you know, the target, so I think that's a bit of a worry for her. Well, not really. She can still get a birdie and go up to a 7 under. You know, if possible, and I think that that's the important one. So Jeong Yoon-ji looking to finish here. She's got a 1 over third stroke on hole number 9, but just looking back at, you know, hole 17, since many of the golfers were hitting the sandbox, it's a relatively comfortable par 3 hole. You've got to be careful of the hazards on the right side, and I think that that's the real problem when it comes to the golfers. Now An Sung-yi missing out on an eagle. She's got a chance here to nail a birdie. 3.2 meters to the hole. Oh, that's just a tad bit impulsive for her, and she knows she's missed it. Could have gone up to a 7 under. She'll have to tap it in to finish with an even score, and I think it's been quite an effort for her. So from an eagle to a birdie to an even score, 37 on the front, 34 on the back 9. She's had she had a very eventful back 9, and 6 under the final score. She's had birdies and 2 bogeys in there as well. Hardain with a 10 over, looking to finish her day's efforts. Will look to get out of the cat box, and she's got her third stroke for hole number 9. Remember, it was a par 5 for the asking. It was never going to be easy for her, but she's got herself out of trouble onto the green itself, and a chance here for a birdie just to end the day on a good note. And remember, I was talking about Ko Ji-yu. She always does tend to hold, well, the putter, well, fairly strong. Will aim for birdie on hole 18. This will be the last for the day. And what a joy for her. What a joy to have finished with the birdie. 3 under score, 39 on the front, 35 on the back, but a good way to end the day's event. And she just might be back tomorrow. Wang Yumin looking to finish on par for hole 18. And that's got to be just... It's just a matter of tough luck. I'm going to put it down to that. She was having such a wonderful day, and she's just going to bogey that. Remember, Wang Yumin is the defending champion in this event. She won it last year, and I can't help but feel for her in these last 5 or 6 holes. It's really been a downer for her. She'll finish with a bogey and a 4 under score. She'll be glad to have got it done. You see that buzzard, and 3 bogeys in there, and that's been a failing in the day. But 4 under score for Hong Yumin as she finishes. So Wang Yumin will be back probably next tomorrow. Hong Junmin, meanwhile, as the leader, second stroke on hole number 17. She's flown the green here. Gio got a 5 under her second effort. Her expression has to be the finest, and it looks like she's... I wonder whether she's gone out of bounds there. Looks to be in the bamboo grove, and I think yes it is. Or she'll have to get a view of it to find out where. Talking of which, this has been a bit of a tough hole. Relatively comfortable par 3 hole that we spoke about, hole number 17. But a lot of hazards on the right side. And Lee Won, of course, is on to... Oh, I said sorry, it's a relatively short par 4 hole. But you must aim for the center of the fairway, that's important. And Lee Won trying to navigate herself through this. Oh, that's beautifully placed. And Lee Won saying, I'm back in the hood. Thank you very much. Kim Min Sol. 4.5 meters of elevation, 152 meters to the hole. The second stroke for hole number 18. She's on a 6 under. Missed out on a birdie in the previous one. Missed out on an eagle, a birdie, and finally finished with a non-par. Oh, sorry, that was Unsong Hee. Kim Min Sol just missed out on a birdie in the previous one. It's back to look at our leaderboard. Hong Junmin now at the top with 10 under. Lee Won with 9 under in second. Unsong Hee and Kim Min Sol tied third with 6 under. Pak Bo Kyung, Kang Ga-yul and Jung Ji-yoo with 5 under and tied fifth. Ryo Seung-hui, who has now stepped it up to a 4 under in tied 8th. Wang Yumin, of course, will be in that tied 8th along with Roh Hyung-hui. And the reason for that, very simply, is, she dropped, 3 really crucial points here today in the last part, or in the back 9. And I think that's something that she's going to, put on a thinking cap and just give it a thought when she, gets back to a hotel room. Will be interesting. Good opportunity here for Hong Jun-min to really shine. Very well played, but that wind resistance. Now remember, wind speeds have gone up here. As you can see, you can make out by the moving flagstick. So missing out on a birdie there was Hong Jun-min. There's Park Hae-jun looking to finish her days event too. Her third stroke for hole 18. And she's still got the opportunity. I do love her putting style. It's a very unique putting style. Very old school actually, or classic. Now here's Lee Won. Will aim for birdie on hole number 17 to tie for the lead. This is very important. She's got to take her time. And that's just slipped out. Well, just skimmed the surface, didn't it? And well, sometimes things like that would happen. So, bit unfortunate here for Lee Won. She can't believe it. She's still got one hole to play. Kim Min-sol. An eagle will be a far distance to fly for her for hole 18, but she'll attempt it. I think she was just playing it safe. Here's Hong Jun-min. Looks to finish on par for hole 17. And she'll keep her leadership intact at 10 under. Just one ahead of Lee Won. Kang Ga-yul also onto hole 18. The third stroke needs to get out of that rough. Not too pleased with it. Would have liked to have got it a lot closer to the tin cup.
떨어질 때 손에 걸리면 괜찮아요? 그래도? 아니, 여기 딱 떨어지고 싶어요.
And well, don't forget that we had that moment where we had that ball that sailed well out of bounds. And just sitting with the official about where to place it. No matter where you place it, the ball's going to roll a little bit. It's a bit of a tough incline there, and she's finally got it to sit. Well, that's a dicey, that bamboo grove, really dicey if you ask me. So just really very, very lucky to have, skipped that. And whenever you have a stroke penalty, it just changes the outcome of, your day's performance. It takes a lot to overcome it, but it's going to be a bit of a tough ask too. She's got to scale past the beach here. So her third stroke for hole 17. Just about escaped a stroke penalty because that ball stayed well within the fence. So Jung Ji-ho, well, just escaping the blushes here. Meanwhile, it's a serious contest still. Kwang Ga-yul will aim for birdie on hole 18. And that's going to elude her. Hole 18 is a very unique hole. If you look at it, you have to aim to the right side of the pine trees on the left. And she'll finish with the 5 under. Kang Ga-yul, 39 on the front. That was a bit of undoing, but I think she's not going to be too disappointed about that. Meanwhile, Kim Si-yoon will aim for birdie on her last hole. She's playing hole 9. And that's a positive note to finish with. We'll drag it down to a 6 over for her. She had a buzzard on the 12th hole. She had a buzzard on her first effort as well. And she started off with the in and finished off, or started with the back 9 and finished with the front 9. Now Jung Ji-ho has been in focus for not all the right reasons. And Hong Jun-min, driving accuracy 85%, greens in regulation 76, putting average of 1.59, and the proof of the pudding is that 10 underscore that she's carrying. Jung Ji-ho will try and finish on par to maintain that 5 under, 3.6 meters to cover. Oh, that's just slipped out, and she can't believe it. It's the second time that's happened to her. I do love her expression. It's just priceless. But can't help but feel a tad bit awful for her. She did come back strong from that, awful shot that she had, and she will finish her day's event well by dropping a point. So it's not something that she was hoping for, but I think she's going to take it in a stride and smile to see another day. And that's what I meant by day 3. You have the fans who turn up in big numbers. You've got family members and friends also, and the crowds just start coming in. And tomorrow it's going to be quite a packed house. Remember, Busan is a very, very active place. It's a very sports it's a city that loves sports, and I've seen that. I talk of the baseball team there, and I do love their merchandise. I do love catching a baseball game whenever I'm there, and the fans are baseball crazy, golf crazy, football crazy. Don't forget Busan I Park, that was the name of the football club if I'm not mistaken. Had some big stars coming out there over the past couple of years, and it went on to play for teams in Germany and on foreign shows. So very sports oriented city. The fans here do love their sports. They love to watch it, they love to play it, they love to be a part of it. Very colorful city, very, very unique in its own way. Looks like she's got a desert to cover to cross across the Sahara here for Hong Jun-min. So she tees off for hole 18. Remember, she's the leader with the 10 under. She's had a birdie in round 1 and round 2 on this hole. Par 5 for the asking. Oh, she's driven that nice and strong, and that's gained a good amount of ground on the fairways for her. Well, I think she was really very, very confident at this point, and that pretty much shows in the way she just drove that. Lee Won. She'll tee off for hole number 18. Remember, she's got to play tag or catch up. And there we go once again. And this time, Lady Luck. I hate saying that word, but Lady Luck just smiling on her. Once again on the edge. She hits the rough when she tees off. And that's why she's at 52% accuracy today. As compared to Hong Jun-min, who's probably been about 80 or 87.5%. And that drive for her has been a huge stumbling block today. But Lee Won escapes, the blushes here, gets back onto, the green. Now Jung Ji-ho will go next. And she's had an interesting day too. Had to drop, a point there to a 4 under. So redemption road for her as well, and she's done extremely well too. Very well placed. Good amount of body behind that swing, and she did get, she did get the ball to travel a lot. So we are down to our, last few moments of the day here today, and it's been a very interesting one. It's almost like a final if you think about it. If you're looking at Lee Won and Hong Junmin. And here's Park Hae-jun with that characteristic grip. Aims to birdie on hole 18. Oh, that's just going to turn away. And I can share her disappointment. What doesn't happen to you every day of the year, does it? One of the things, of course, that I did forget to mention, that Callaway Golf has led the driver usage for 10 years in 2025. And at the KLPGA opening event, the Doosan Construction Weave Championship, the Callaway driver has recorded a usage of first place for 10 consecutive years. Think about it, 10 consecutive years. It was a survey conducted by an independent company and targeted 120 participating players at the Busan, Dongdae Benis Golf Club, where we're coming at you live from. And 32.5% was the usage of Callaway drivers. I'm not promoting the product or the brand, but that's just how reliable it's been for these golfers. Well, not the best moment here for her either. So it's a very interesting thing, and the one that they've been most using, and this is the golf club that I want to get myself, that's caught the attention of 87% of players, is the Elite Driver Series, which was released this year in January. It's expensive, and I don't have one, but I definitely want to get one. And it has 3 core technologies, which offers a distance increase of 8 yards more, as well as is more forgiving than the previous Callaway club. So what I really liked about the fact is the material used. They're using a thermo-forged carbon crown that maximizes the moment of inertia, and the head design allows for maximum speed combined with the new AI 10 times face optimized for spin and speed. That kind of technology, and I'm all for it. Kim Min-sol finishes with 6 under, 36 on the back, 36 on the front. She's not going to be too worried. She'll be back tomorrow. So the Callaway driver, think about it. It's on my wish list. Could be on yours as well. An on-par finish here. Park Hae-jun could have finished with a birdie earlier. She'll settle for a 4 under. She's had 2 birdies and 3 bogeys, but she will finish with 4 under, and that smile will just floor anybody. That's a wonderful thing about golfers, when they finish on more or less a positive note. And even if they don't, there's always a smile for their caddy, family, friends, and for fans. So, I do remember when we talk about equipment used in golf, and pretty much like the equipment used in table tennis. And I remember in my school days, I was a huge fan of the butterfly rubber and the Yasaka Mark V rubber, because that was a dead rubber which would aid you when you smash. And the butterfly, alloy rubber was more a spin rubber. And it's just, when you think about it, equipment makes such a huge difference. And it's such a joy when these companies work on research and development. Lee Won, second stroke for hole number 18. 213 meters to the hole. She's carrying a 9 under here. Remember, she's got to try and play catch up with Hong Junmin. And I think she's just going to be glad that she's not got into any of the hazards as of now. Jung Ji-yo will go next. On to her second stroke for hole 18. So Hong Junmin on to her second stroke for hole 18, and she's going to try and maintain leadership to finish off, at the top of the leaderboard today. So as well, the walk towards the next point of contact for the golf club and the ball is concerned, materializes. Lee Won, of course, just trying to draw deep and come up with the goods here. Here's Lee Won, 56 meters to the hole. She's carrying a 9 under. And I think that's good placement, and she's got a smile as well for that. It's hard to believe, isn't it? 5'4". She's just 22 years old, and she's such an amazing golfer. Well, if you go down to the KLPGA, you'll find some of them are 18 and 19 and wonderful golfers, so mature when they actually get onto the course. And away from the course, they're just, your regular teens. It's just an amazing manner in which they can play professionally and, still remain themselves. Hong Chun-min. And she's just pushing it, isn't she? She's just quietly and silently done it. Just, everything that Lee Won's done in the last few holes, she's just done a little bit better. And remember, she had a birdie on round 1 and round 2. There's a chance here for her finishing with a birdie on this as well. And Lee Won will have to finish with a birdie if she has to stay close to, the leader or on the leaderboard. Remember, you're going to ask yourself, so what's going to be the big deal when you get into the main playoffs tomorrow? And that's on the fourth and the final day, or the finale. So you lead the way on the leaderboard and you finish at the top. You're just going to avoid getting into a playoff, and there's going to be no tiebreaker, and that's really what you need. The closer you are to your rival, the stronger the chance of there being a decider being played on the last hole, and that's happened on a couple of events many times over last year. Jung Ji-oh, the third stroke for hole 18. Oh, that is wonderful. What a fancy way to end her day's event. And I just thought, out of the 3, she was the only one that did not land up with, on the green. And she's finished with an eagle on hole 18. 34 on the back 9, 39 on the front 9, and a 6 under. What an amazing finish for Jung Ji-oh to finish with an eagle there after 2 consecutive bogeys. And, somebody or someone smiling down on her from above. That's just the best way to finish your day 3. She's had disappointment in the last 2 holes, and that relief just says it all. Beautiful way to finish off with an eagle. Now let's find out what the remaining 2 golfers do in that pack. So not a worry at all. Hang Chun-min will maintain leadership. She's up to 11 under, finishing with a birdie there on hole 18. And what a fancy way to finish. She finishes at the top of the heap. Now Lee Won is left. And Lee Won will have to finish with a birdie to stay close to the current leader. Lee Won will aim for birdie on hole number 18. Well played, Lee Won. Well played. So she finishes with the 10 under, 36 on the back, 33 on the front. She's had, well, 3 bogeys in there, a couple of birdies that have really served her well, and she finishes with a birdie, so she will stay close to Hong Jun-min, and they finish at the top of the heap in first and second position, with Hong Jun-min really shining in those last few holes. And for the time being, and I'm not saying tomorrow, for the time being, it is, of course, these 2 golfers that are the golfers to beat. But then Park Woo-kyung's still there. You've still got, well, this entire trio, not just one of them, Jung Ji-ho as well. What a fantastic finish she had. So just going to look back, at a couple of the highlights that on the first hole, of course. As we're looking for, a birdie. That would have been a good way to have got started. So we saw Lee Won giving it her all. And there we go once again. Absolutely fantastic birdie from Lee Won. She was really the golfer to watch, along with Hong Jun-min today. There's no doubt about it. And there on the 5th hole, it was Lee Won back again. And that was just terrific placement from her, an absolute chance of, having nailed a birdie once again. And those are moments that actually took Lee Won, all the way to the top. Then on the 6th hole, you had Hong Jun-min. And she had that perfect placement which ensured a birdie for her, kept her very close to what Lee Won was doing. She was 2 under behind at that point of time. And Lee Won once again, shining bright with a birdie, and that got her up to a 10 under on hole number 6. She had 4 birdies and a bogey in there as well. And then on the 9th hole, it was Hong Jun-min back again. Year 2, she was 2 under behind Lee Won. And perfect placement once again to set herself up for an underscore finish. On the 10th hole, Lee Won, but she changed slacks there, if you remember. And if you've been wondering as to why I've been concerned about Lee Won's slacks, it's because those pink slacks match the Sakura blossoms, and I just think it's very cool. So I'm not a fashion conscious person, but it was just a nice move. So an on par finish there on hole 10, and this was a bit of an undoing because on hole 10 Lee Won did bogey that, and then on the 11th hole she was still, that 10th hole got her tied at leadership with 9 under with Hong Jun-min, but she came back on the 11th hole pretty strong. Then on the 14th hole you had An Song-yi. And An Song-yi had that lovely finish, a birdie on hole 14. She had a good day, in round 3 too. And she'll be a golfer to watch for certain. That was just a tad bit of a worry. Wang Yu-min. She had so many worries in those last few holes, and that really dragged her down to finish with a 4 under. She was 7 under, and then just lost her way along the path. On the 17th hole, of course, once again we saw An Song-yi give us that birdie, and she got herself back to a 6 under. And on the 16th hole, There was always going to be a bit of a worry to get out of the rough. But Lee Won, well, just doing what she needed to. And she kept that, 10 under score going, but then she bogeyed it in 16 to go down to 9 under. And that's where, for the first time, Hong Jun-min on hole 16, they swapped positions and she took the leadership with a birdie. She's had 4 birdies today, and absolutely a blemish-free performance. No bogeys at all, Hong Jun-min. And we failed to see that earlier. A couple of times that the ball has lipped out for Kim Min Sol as well. And then on the 18th hole, on that third stroke, just getting one up on Lee Won back again, finishing or placing it closer to the tin cup than Lee Won, and just made sure that she kept her leadership intact, because otherwise Lee Won would have tied with her on 10 under. But this was really one of the best of the day. Jung Ji-yoo just coming out with that absolutely stunning eagle on the 18th hole, and I think that really made the difference. And here we go. It was once again Hong Jun-min doing extremely well to finish her day's event with 11 under, and as the leader at the end of round 3. Lee Won needed a birdie, and she did just enough to keep second position. And that's how it really finished today. So it's been a good story today. It's been a very good, round of golf. We've had ups and downs and a few challenges. The Sakura blossoms to keep us company. And of course, we've always had one of the good things, and that, of course, is the leaderboard. So Hong Jun-min sitting at the top of the table. Lee Won second with the 10 under. An Seong-yi, Jung Ji-yo, and Kim Min Sol in tied third with 6 under. Park Bo-kyum and Kang Ga-yeol in tied 6th with 5 under. And then you've got Roh Seung-hui with 4 under in tied 8th. And that's going to be a bit of an interesting take, because in tied 8th you also got the others like Cho Hai-ji 2, Park Ji-young, Ji-han Sol, Park Hae-jun, Kim Min-byul and Hwang Yu-min in tied 4th, and then there's Choi Ye-rim and Ko Ji-yu in tied 15th with that 3 under. Bang Shin-sil, who we missed out on today, along with Hong Hyun-ji and Seo Yoon-jin, sits in tied 17th. And then, of course, in tied 20th, you've got Lee So-young, you've got Bai So-yoon, and the rest of the chasing pack. So that was the end of round 3. Let me remind you that we were coming at you live from the Dongray Benist Golf Club in Busan. This is the Doosan ENC Weave Championship. It is the second event of the year, and the one where all the fans have turned up. I'll be back with you to take you through round 4 tomorrow. But for now, it's time for me, Glenn, to shut shop and ship out of here. And I'll catch you again bright and early tomorrow for the exciting finale of this event. Join me then.